My name is Thuy Tien. I was born in Saigon on November 1st, 1986. My family then consisted of my parents, my maternal grandmother, my older brother, and my younger sister. We were poor, but we always had everything that we needed. Life in Vietnam was simple and happy. Like many other men of his generation, my father was imprisoned and re-educated after the war. His sacrifice made our family eligible for the Humanitarian Operations Program. We came to the United States on March 3rd, 1995. I was 8 years old. My parents began right away to build our new lives. My mother worked 7 days a week as a waitress in a Vietnamese restaurant and came home exhausted and smelling of onions. My father worked in construction and took English classes at a local community college. Late at night, he would sit alone with piles of flashcards, repeating vocabulary words while we slept. My father fell ill during our first year in the United States. He passed away on June 3rd, 1996. His death was a devastating loss, especially for my mother, who found herself alone in a strange land with 3 young children to raise. With help, my family managed to rebuild. My mother got a new job and began taking night classes at a community college. She supported our family with her wages and financial aid from her school. Bags from food banks often supplemented our groceries, and every year my siblings and I received our Christmas presents and school supplies from local charities. We still always had everything we needed. My siblings and I quickly learned to take care of ourselves. My mother made sure that we never had to worry about the bills, but in return, she expected us to get straight A's. She told us how lucky we were to be in a country where we could hope to go to college. She said, "Get a good education and you can do anything." She pictured a stable career, a nice house, and a comfortable life. But "you can do anything" really meant you don't have to be poor. My mother and I disagreed about the value of a college education. The degree was important, but for me, college was a chance to finally see what life was like outside of the 15-mile radius around my house. I would experience and learn as much as possible and find my place in the world. I would finally get out of San Jose. When the time came for me to choose between UC Berkeley and MIT, there was no question which school was the better fit. MIT offered the opportunities and experiences that I'd always dreamt of, the kind of education that I wanted. My mother saw no distinction between a good school close to home and one far away. At MIT, I found myself among the brightest and most driven, passionate people I'd ever met. It was an environment where ideas flourished and came to life. I realized that for some people, the phrase "you can do anything" really meant anything. I'd never before imagined myself as someone who could change the world. But at MIT, I asked myself, why not? As I had hoped, college helped me find my place in the world. Working at Boston High School serving inner-city kids, I met students who showed me how incredibly lucky I was to have made it as far as I did. I wondered how many kids out there would have been in my place at MIT if not for their circumstances. I was now part of the so-called educated elite, but I also remembered what it was like to struggle at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. I understood the difficulties, but I knew the possibilities to rise above them. I understood that I had a responsibility to my students, my community, and myself to address the social problems that I now recognized. "You can do anything" no longer means to me, you don't have to be poor. I now understand what it means to be able to do anything, and I hope to help others do the same.